What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to a new video. 22 years old and I got a cut, so I'm not wearing a hat today. And today we're going to be tackling the coolant system in our officially Kswap hatch. We're going to be installing the hybrid racing radiator along with the hybrid racing hoses. So any extra time that we got, we'll invest it in doing other stuff. To put into perspective how long I've been sitting on some of these parts, I have this corner where I just have a bunch of stuff. This is the radiator. It's just been sitting behind all of this. And if you open my door, hoses. I've been sitting on these parts for a while and I'm just now getting to them. I figured I may as well should show you guys the parts. So the radiator comes with these radiator stands or holders, whatever it is. Voila! Has a little hybrid racing logo. Comes with the radiator cap. Flip it over to the back. Has the coolant ports. Hybrid racing logo. Very nice, very nice. Got the hoses here as well now. This one has, I guess, like cut marks. And I'm not sure what are like the differences or variations for these cut marks. Kswap lower. But this one has a little hybrid racing logo since I think it's the one that sits on top. So I'm running a K20 engine, so I don't know how much it differs from a K24. But we're gonna find out. Let's go outside the hatch. Before we get started on installing anything, we gotta go ahead and remove our old EG AC condenser. I pretty much got it almost completely disconnected. Oops. It's just disconnecting some cables and maybe something down there, and maybe these wires that connect to this thingy right here. Gotta get this out of here because this is gonna be the new housing spot for our new radiator. AC condenser is now out. We got some decent amount of room. There she is, looking pretty crusty. I would like to keep AC in my hatch. I never had it. I had everything to have AC. I don't know what was missing, but I do want to get it back with the K series. So I don't know, we might keep this and try to just reuse this, but for now she's out. Doing some pre-installing inspections. We do have an old hose that was probably used, but we're gonna go ahead and remove this one and use our nice hybrid racing one, but we'll probably keep this. If you look down here where the AC condenser was mounted, it has these holes with these mounts. We're gonna try out the little bushings that came with our radiator. These are the bushings that came with that. I hope they do fit perfect up in there, but I'm gonna go ahead and wipe this down and we'll install these bad boys. The mounts are looking a lot cleaner. They are a bit dirty, but I just want to get it clean around the circle so that I could get the bushing in there nice and easy. Later on, we're gonna end up cleaning the whole engine bay. It's all pretty crusty. They're honestly pretty easy to install. Just push it through and then try to just, you know, lift up on the top, and then it'll basically wedge itself on. We're hitting right here. We're gonna have to remove this bracket. Now that we got our two bottom bushings in, we can now go ahead and align it to whichever hole it was gonna align to, and this one seems to align to this one. At the bracket right here, it doesn't really hit, but it's very close right there. Let me go ahead and install this and then see all the clearances. This bracket gives you some slack, and I'm basically just gonna leave it kind of like in the middle-ish, but more facing that way. Some play right here, just push it all the way forward, but for right now we're gonna leave it like that because we still got to work on the hoses. Checking the hose, I see why the hybrid racing lower coolant hose has the cut marks. If you look, they don't line up, and I think this was used prior because they used a regular Civic radiator and they just transferred over here and they ended up making it work with that hose. But I'm gonna go ahead and remove it and test out the hybrid racing hose. Ooh, finally the lights turned on. Removed the hose and discovered we have this coolant temp sensor. Not too sure, but it was never connected to anything. I'm sure there is a wire somewhere around here. I'll probably investigate a little bit, but I don't know if it was used. But we're definitely gonna keep this around. We do have multiple cut spots. Maybe this goes right there. Not sure, but we're gonna test it out, or at least we'll save it for later today I just want to get the hoses on. We'll figure this out later. Simply hold it up to about right there. It lines up kind of like to one of those white lines. I guess we are gonna have to do some cutting. So I got the hose installed. Now I try to stay on a little bit more conservative when cutting this hose. As you can see, we basically can still see all the cut lines like this one. I basically just cut the loop and it fit this side. I cut maybe like, I don't know, here's basically all the little rings that I've been cutting. I've been cutting little by little because it's a lot smarter to cut little by little, because if you cut too much you won't be able to add enough. This is basically the loop that I cut off. Cuts terrible. I've been using this. I don't have a tool or a proper tool to cut hoses or anything like that. I'll do my research so I could look into better stuff, but for now this thing worked. Try to keep it so that no water could sit right here, so I might need to cut a little bit more just to raise it up a bit more so that the water can run freely instead of pooling up right there. But for now we got the lower radiator hose on and we can start working on the top one. This is our top port. This goes about right there. This shit, let's see, it's like all kinked right here. After looking online at some pictures, I guess it's okay. It's meant to be like this because right here is where the throttle body's at. The intake will basically run on top of it. It doesn't look as kinked no more. Install this side first and then just try to play around with this side so that it stays as open as possible. I'm pretty sure this is the line that runs back over here, but it doesn't fit, so I might need to get a bigger line that fits. Also, I don't know if we run an overflow tank. That's not something that I looked into, but do these even have an overflow tank? I don't know. Milk cartons make great tripods. But that's it for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I feel like we're moving pretty fast with the hatch, and if you want to follow along with the build, subscribe, drop a like if you enjoyed today's video, comment what you guys are doing about your overflow reservoir. If you guys are running one. After doing some research, some people aren't, some people do. So just comment down below whatever you guys are running so I could help me decide what I want to do. As far as the hoses, I'm gonna end up fixing the cuts, and I'm also waiting on clamps. They should be here within the next week. But that's it. I'll see you guys in the next video. God bless.